Everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Bob from CLASH Daytona. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by NASCAR Foundation, Daytona International Speedway, USA Triathlon, Aquasphere, and Varlo. Our next guest has a pretty busy weekend ahead. You're racing here on Friday, and then you're going to Indian Wells for Sunday. Jackson
Yes,
Laundry, you
that's
are
the
a
plan.
crazy man. What are you
I've been
thinking?
told. They release the race schedule up, of course, and there's not
Yes.
a whole lot of races in late November, December, and the two that I thought I wanted to do were on the same weekend, so I kind of was a little bummed about that. But then when I realized that Miami was Friday pretty early in the day, 1 p.m. start, and then
You
Indian
gain time
Wells,
flying
gain
back.
time, and I'm like, well, if it's ever going to be doable, this is the time to try it. So I thought, well, I'll go for it for Daytona, just give it everything I got, and then just go to Indian Wells and see what I have left in the tank. I mean, I still think there's a decent chance I miss my flight because I have such a quick turnaround to try to make it there. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm definitely going to have to really be organized and just jet immediately after the race.
Now, Indian Wells, for a lot of us wussy Californians, it's cold water, cold air, you're out in the desert, but that's Jackson Laundry country. You dig that, right? Colder the better.
Yeah, honestly, the climate there is probably pretty good for me. Cold water. It's probably only gonna be like 10 degrees at the start. So that's per 10 Celsius. That is. So that'd be pretty nice for me. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely good conditions there, but it's also super flat bike, rough roads. You know, some other things that are a bit tough. And when I've got another race in my legs, we'll see how that plays out.
And there's a really, really small pro field too.
You've got 50 guys there, and not to mention a lot of the best in the sport.
Exactly.
So that'll be fun. But honestly, I don't really have any expectations other than to just go and give it my best, put myself in a position to have a good day and see what the legs have left. But the priority is definitely crushing Daytona here and really proving to myself, you know, what I'm capable of on a course like this at this distance. Definitely improving upon things that I haven't done well in the last, at Worlds. I didn't swim well, and that's a huge priority for me here. So it's going to be difficult given the caliber of swimmers in this field. It's pretty ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to trying that out.
But at Worlds at St. George, everybody else is like stopping to put on their gloves, their vests, their booties, and you were like probably taking clothes off. You're like overheating a little bit.
Yeah, I actually had planned to put gloves on, and I like started putting the first glove on, and I had a really bad swim, so I was like 2 minutes down, and then I was like, I don't have time to put this glove on. I'm just gonna go. So I just went, and my skin was like definitely cold, and my hands were cold for the first like 20-30 minutes, but my core temperature was fine, and I felt good, so I knew I was in a good spot, and then once the sun started peeking up over those hills, it was like beautiful. So a little warmer here in Daytona, but certainly not like really hot. It should be like in the 70s.
Oh yeah,
so
it'll be great.
It'll be fine, and I'll just have to make sure I wear sunscreen and don't get burnt. We've pretty much just had winter conditions in Canada so far already, so a little bit different.
So when you look at your season, when you kick off with 70.3 California with a win against a great field, Lionel Sanders, Rudy Von Berg, Alistair Brownlee, Ben Canute. I mean, that field was stacked. But you're a guy who is a very confident guy. I'm guessing that you felt there was no reason that you couldn't win that race.
Yeah, I knew that I had improved from the previous year, and I had, based on my results from the year before, I thought I had a chance to really compete with those guys. And, I stepped up, and again, it was good conditions and a good course for me, and I just had a great day. And, that's what happens. And when you just put together consistent training and you believe in yourself, and you just keep showing up, eventually you're going to have that day that you want. So that was that day, and I definitely started really strong this year. That was obviously my best result of the year, and I had some solid results shortly thereafter. And then, kind of in middle of the season, didn't feel like I showed what I was capable of. Just sort of, not that I wasn't fit, but I just was making mistakes in my lead up into races and my taper, and just a few things that I learned from, and I'm kind of on my way back out of that, and my last few results have been kind of trending upward. So that's really why I decided to extend my season into December this year. Normally I don't, but I feel like I'm still fit. I'm still I was still motivated to train, and I really wanted to show like what I'm capable of, and learn from the mistakes I've made this year. And I think I can have another great race this weekend, and hopefully two.
So when you're in a race and you've got the two-time Olympic gold medalist in front of you on the run, there would be a tendency to think, well, yeah, he's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. He's Alistair Brownlee. He's supposed to win the race. And a lot of people would not go attack and go run by him. And I've talked to enough of the elite guys that they know they're going to win, and the other folks know they're going to win, right? And they sort of they go this. Okay, second is good enough for me. Having the guts to go past that guy, that's a different type of mentality.
Yeah, that was my fastest run ever was that day, obviously, and
yeah,
it was good conditions and a good course, but it was also just I tried not to think about who was who or what any of that. I just thought what is my best run I can put together here, and that involved kind of letting him go a little bit earlier in the run. We ran together for about 7K, and then he put in a surge, and I kind of knew that wasn't the time for me to be surging. Like, I needed to just hold that pace and see what happened later on. And I was able to, kind of just hang 15 seconds behind him. He wasn't really getting away, and I thought, okay, if I can just crank it up a little bit here in the last 5K, he started coming back, and then I really got a huge boost of confidence when I saw that he's coming back to me, and when that happened, it was over because I knew he's not going to be letting me catch him, and
no,
he's hurting. So I just kind of put in definitely a good move when I went by him, and held on from there.
When you win a race like that, it's not a world championship, but it's a world championship field. How does that change things for you in terms of perception, in terms of sponsors? Did it change things?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely changed my mentality of like what I believe is possible.
Yeah.
Because I do believe I can podium and compete to win even a world championship.
Definitely.
And so that was definitely the biggest change. And yeah, I've gotten a lot more recognition. I actually think some sponsors reach out and got 1 or 2 deals from that, brand deals, and that helps. But you also gotta make sure you're not just known as a guy who won Oceanside one time. So you go back to work and you just kind of you remember what you did well and you learn from it. But then you can also be humbled, and not even that long later at like St. Anthony's Tri, I got I think it was 6th or 7th.
Okay.
And I don't know, decent day, but there's multiple guys
there's
there
fast
who beat
guys.
me that I had beaten Oceanside, and it just kind of put this light bulb off that what, it's not like a hierarchy in the sport. It's like there's a ton of guys who are all very close, and you've got to put it together on the day to win. And so any given day, a guy that you beat by 5 minutes could beat you by 5 minutes, and you just something goes wrong, or they have a great day, and that's that. So it really tuned me into the little details. You really got to nail all the little details to make it happen.
I love it. Jackson, have a great race. Great races Friday and Sunday. You'll be doing the Jackson Laundry double. I don't know if anybody else is doing that.
I don't think anyone is this
So you might win it. You're going to win the double.
Yeah. Yeah, only one to finish both races.
There you go. I love it. Jackson Laundry has been our guest, everybody, again. Breakfast with Bob from beautiful CLASH Daytona. Hold on. We will be right back.